You gonna be on camera this time? No comment? Okay. Greetings and salutations, everybody. Back with another movie review here. This one is an 80s review, one of my little retro reviews for the movie Summer School from 1987. This film is starring Mark Harmon and Kirstie Alley, and I'm not even going to read the synopsis I came across because it's kind of rough. So here's mine. Mark Harmon plays Freddie, a high school gym teacher who on the last day of school gets recruited against his will to teach remedial English summer school class for several students who have failed English that year. Eventually, he needs to recruit the help of Robin, a fellow teacher he just met, to teach him how to teach in order to save himself from being fired and being able to earn his tenure. So anyways, now I must admit I've seen this movie probably 50 times back when it was first in high rotation on cable. But even though I knew it pretty well inside and out, I went ahead and did a rewatch of this recently to see how it holds up and to kind of wipe a little bit of that nostalgia out of it, and sort of break down a little bit more about this film. Running off of that synopsis. Yes, he's a gym teacher. Last day of school, he was just on his way out. He's counting down the minutes, the seconds, with all the other kids for the summer vacation because he's going to kick off his vacation with heading to Hawaii with his girlfriend, who's played by Amy Stocks, who was also in the Bill and Ted's movies playing their mother, depending on which, Ted's mother in one movie, Bill's mother in the other. Anyways, the usual English teacher, who's played by Carl Reiner, who also directed the film, he had won the lottery. Not a whole lot of money, but enough for him to say, screw this, I'm not going to be teaching summer school and head on out of there. And that's how Freddie kind of gets pulled into it. Now, since he's up for his tenure, he kind of has to do this. It's kind of being held above him that if he doesn't do it, he'll be called into question how devoted he actually is. So all these kids, they kind of suck at English, but they're not all the same character. They actually set them up with each, kid that kind of, stays in his class as being pretty different, from one or the other. And they're all in there for different reasons. One is falling asleep all the time, so he's falling behind because of that, just has zero energy. And another one is pregnant, so everything that comes along with that has been causing her to fall behind in her studies. Plus, we have one who's kind of like a daydreamer of sorts, always, these dreams of just ditching school and surfing, which she must have done several times to fail English. And then we even have one who insists that he passed the test and that the computer must have just made an error. So anyways, also in this group, we have two of the most memorable characters in the entire movie, which are Chainsaw and Dave, played by Dean Cameron and Gary Riley, respectively. They kind of instigate a lot of the shenanigans everybody gets into. They are huge horror fans, especially for Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's why one of them calls himself Chainsaw. And they both have the hots for this Italian exchange student who comes in for the summer. Her name is Anna Maria. She's played by Fabiana Udiano, or Udanio, sorry. She was also in the Austin Powers film as A Lot of Vagina. Anyways, and another surprising one is Richard Stephen Horvitz. It took me until recently to realize this. His voice was sounding really familiar watching it. And he did a voice of the main, bad guy in the Skylanders video game and the voice of Zim on Invader Zim. So now that, this is post-Zim, every time I watch it, I can't help but hear that Zim voice because he's got that, it just sticks out. That's why he's probably done a whole lot of voice work over the years. Very good voice. So, anyways, gym teacher teaching English. How does he handle it? Well, through the suggestions of one student, they decide to all just go on a bunch of field trips, which of course is going to get them in a lot of trouble with some of the parents once they find out. And he's about to just get himself outright fired. So he makes a deal to make up for his mistake and his lack of judgment for that field trip, that if he can get everybody in that class to pass English, then he'll get to keep his job. Now, of course, it's easier said than done. He's never actually taught English before, so that's where he has to recruit Robin, who is played by Kirstie Alley, who is an English teacher, to kind of teach him how to teach. Along the way with that, he also had to make deals with these kids to actually pay attention in class. They think they just can't really pass. They think they're losers. So he, decides to give them each almost like a wish that he can grant as long as they pay attention in class and really apply themselves. One of them wants to have a party at his place. Another one wants driving lessons. One wants him to be like a Lamaze coach because she doesn't know who the father of her baby is. Of course, Chainsaw and Dave want them, to have a viewing of Texas Chainsaw Massacre right there in the classroom. And one of them just needs a place to crash for a while. So throughout the story, we learn a bit more about all these characters, these different students along the way, a little bit more about their families. There's a lot of comedy thrown in. I mean, this 97-minute runtime just flies by really fast. We even learn why this sleepy guy is actually tired all the time, and we even get a very gory scene thrown into this, which, is all done in a very comedic way. So that gore is over the top, but trust me, it's funny, not gross. Anyways, the only negatives I could really, come up with for this film, because I was kind of looking at it through different eyes this time, was that the editing was very, very strange. It's a lot of quick shots, a lot of quick cuts, but these shots sometimes feel like they're cut short, like they didn't really finish what they needed. There's even this one really strange shot where they must have not had enough footage of the character because they slowed down the footage to fill a few more seconds. But that just gave the guy this really weird, creepy, slow blink that happens at the end of the scene. So anyways, there was a lot of just weird stuff with the editing that I didn't really care for. But, this time around, I did notice a bunch of other things too. Some just little stuff in the background. Characters doing strange things that I didn't notice before. Or there's even this one scene where the character of Dave is talking to somebody and he's trying to act like overly impressed. And for some reason, he's standing there stroking his chest the entire time that he's talking. I also noticed that the main character, Freddie, is always eating junk food every scene. Even when he's like helping out as being a Lamaze coach, he's showing up to the class with a box of Pop-Tarts in his hand. So anyways, very unrealistic that he'd be able to keep that kind of physique or that a gym teacher could afford a place that apparently is on Venice Beach. Anyways, all those strange little funny bits aside, as well as, the story and performances in general, I mean, just wrap this all up, wipe away the nostalgia. I'll definitely give this one a B. Solid B. It's worth checking out. I believe at the time of this video, it might be available on Cinemax and Spectrum if you have that. Otherwise, it's available for rental, usually about the little low-cost $3 one. So anyways, Summer School, 1987. I'm going to give it a B and recommend you check it out. And as always, when it comes to checking something out, thank you for checking out my video, checking out my channel. I really do hope that you subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Leave a comment if you want to talk about anything. Just be respectful of anybody else leaving comments. Be sure to share this, hit that bell, all that stuff. Like, comment, share, hit the bell. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
I'm Chainsaw.
I'm Dave.
We'll see you at the movies.